Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training in Buddha. I'm heading to the back to go clean kennels and get these guys situated. I usually get up in the morning and pop out of the trailer, and first thing I do is break the dogs that I've got in boxes that I put in at night. And I come out here and start scooping kennels and get everybody situated so I can put those dogs into their kennels. So that's what I'm going to do now. Good morning, Mama. It's my brood bitch that I saved back from the first litter out of rocks. And she's going to end up... Come here, baby. Good girl. All right, let me get that collar off of you. Bark collar, because at night they start going sometimes. Good girl. There you go. So I held her back. This is a breeding out of rocks and arrow for breeding stock. She's the only one that I held back as far as the female. I let everything else go, but so I'll keep her in breeding. Go, boy. And then there's Arrow. I'm an Arrow. Good boy. I'm going to leave that on for a little while because you start barking. So I'm going to, 10 o'clock is our time to take that off. Good boy, Arrow. Good. All right, so I'm going to get my day going. I was listening to a trainer that I really have come to respect. It's really a dog man, been doing dogs since he's been a baby from over in Europe. And he's doing a lot of law enforcement work right now. And that's where his career path has taken him, in working with law enforcement, doing seminars. He's pretty much the hottest item on the block right now. And he started talking about the instincts of a dog, and then it got me thinking about what I believe in, which is what I call the gut feeling of dog training. You can pull in all the science in the world that you want to, you know, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and all the science that we learn, all the school book learning that we do as far as animal learning, right? And all that's not going to do you a bit of good if you don't have an instinct within your gut to train dogs, you know. And that's what you should be honing. Once you get that science behind you, you should be, when you're working an animal, try to feel it. That's usually what I try to do when I'm working with my customers. I try to pass that on, what I call the gut feeling of dog training. It's instinct. I feel in my heart that everybody has the ability to communicate with their dogs. And with animals in general, it used to be a lot more the case when farmers were dealing with their horses and the cattle and all the animals that we had to deal with as we went through survival on the plains and all that. I think instinctively that man, in a general sense, has a lot more ability to communicate with their animals than they realize. And they've lost that with our technology, with all the internet and everything we have nowadays. It's become very stunted. Our lifestyles have changed. We've lost that ability to communicate with our animals. And so that being the case, I always try to pass that on to my customers and talk to them about what I call the gut feeling of dog training, because you can learn all the science in the world and you go to all the schools you want to, Michael Ellis, whatever you want to do, but if you don't have that instinct to be able to feel and instinctively understand what's going on with the animal, to be able to do what you've got to do using the science, the front of your brain, the intellectual side, versus that instinctive side that you've heard me talk about before, you're not going to be worth a hoot as a trainer, you know. So all you guys that are trying to reach for becoming a dog trainer, realize you have two different parts of your brain. You have the emotional side, that instinctive feeling side, whether you're a musician and you're learning how to play music, or you're a singer, it all comes from that side of your intellectual, your instinctive side, you know, that emotional side. And that's what I try to get into when I'm working with my dogs, is always understanding that gut feeling of dog training, as I call it. And I usually say that if I can get one person out of 10 to be able to feel that when they're working with their animals, I've accomplished my goal in life in general. And I feel it's probably one or two out of 10 maybe can ever get to that point. Most people just kind of don't have that ability to harness that side of their emotional state of mind and be able to get in tune with the dog. Keep in mind the dog's a very emotional creature as well, you know. So all the science in the world is not going to help you at all if you can't harness that the other side. So I'll let you guys go. That's my little yak session for this morning. Have a good day and enjoy the beautiful weather up here in the high desert. Bye-bye.